Now I'm sure that with the release of Ultimate, there are a lot of you who are looking to get really good at this game, whether it be to blaze a trail for a new character, arise as an up and coming new player, or just to finally be able to beat your rival. Whatever the reason, a new game brings much room for improvement, but not just in gameplay. Being good inside the game is one thing, but it doesn't mean much if you aren't good outside the game. I'm talking about your competitive mindset or your mental. To go into a bit more detail, it's about how you think not only in the game, but yourself as a player and how you deal with different situations inside your head. One of the pillars of being the best player at anything is having the right mindset. If you aren't dedicated to learning, adapting, and overcoming everything that's thrown at you, then you can't ever expect to reach the top. No matter how good you are at the game itself, those things will always hold you back and prevent you from growing and getting better. So today I would like to go over 5 tips to help you improve your mental game. These tips are things you need to keep in mind as you explore Smash Ultimate. So when you're getting better at the game, your mindset and attitude are not keeping you stagnant, and your mentality can be ever evolving along with your gameplay. So the first tip I have for you is to learn from your mistakes. So many players out there in a multitude of different games are far too quick to blame others before they blame themselves for their shortcomings. And that mindset is incredibly toxic to your growth as a player. Instead of saying, I only lost because that Link was so bad and just kept spamming forward smash, a better way to think about it is, I kept getting hit by forward smash, so how can I work to avoid his forward smash? He forward smashes whenever I run straight at him, so next time I should jump over. This way of thinking keeps your mindset ever evolving and adapting to your opponent. Blaming others for your mistakes instead of self-reflecting in order to realize what you did wrong and working to remedy your shortcomings is the quickest way to grow as a player. And yes, I realize that sometimes it is hard to admit your mistakes, but here are a couple of things you can do to make it easier. Watch your replays, both by yourself or with a friend. It's hard to remember everything that happened in a match immediately after the fact, so go over everything step by step. Having a friend with you will help you see some things you didn't pick up on yourself, and play some sets with a friend and have him fill you in on your bad habits while you're playing. He can tell you all the things he notices while you're playing and what he is punishing you for. Things like you're rolling too much and you always use your double jump off stage first. Being able to recognize your own mistakes is one of the hardest things to do as a player, but once you learn to self-reflect instead of blaming other factors for your own faults, I guarantee your growth will be limitless. The second way to improve your mentality is to adopt the mindset of nothing is broken. We live in a day and age in which if something is a game-breaking degree of broken, it'll get patched out. Long past are the days of Brawl Meta Knight raining terror down upon the scene with no hopes of it getting removed or fixed. That being said, if something you think is broken remains in the game, it's not as broken as you think, and while limited, there is counterplay. One of the best examples is Bayonetta. With her entrance into the scene, many players labeled her as busted and refused to play against her or learn any counterplay to her. But notice players like Isam have seen increasing success against Bayo because they adopted the mindset of learning to overcome and adapt with SDI as opposed to hiding with their tail between their legs praying Sakurai nerfs her. It's the same thing with anything in the game. The difference between thinking, man, air dodges are so broken in this game, they get you out of everything with no punish, and I'm not punishing air dodges correctly so let me adjust my approach, will have an impact on your gameplay that is too great to put into words. If you don't like how busted a game mechanic is or how good a character is, you have every right to not play the game or not learn the matchup. But keep in mind, not only will you not grow this way, but you will be far surpassed by players that will. Like it or not, it's in the game, and you should learn and adapt as if it was never going anywhere anytime soon. The next tip I have for you is to not treat losing as losing. It's understandable that people get upset, frustrated, or disappointed in themselves whenever they lose, especially immediately after a tough loss. But when have you ever seen a top player tweet, man, after losing to X player in Y tournament, there's no point in playing the game anymore. After a tough loss, top players always voice about how much they're looking forward to growing and learning from defeat, going over the replays to improve mistakes and learning a matchup better, to be more prepared when they have to face that player or character in tournament again. There's so many positives that you could take away from a loss that there really is no reason to view it as a negative thing. After all, losing just means there's more you can improve on. Improving means you get better, and getting better means you're getting closer to your goals. Now it's okay to feel upset, disappointed, or flustered after a loss, but at the end of the day, don't hang your hat on them for too long. It's only a stepping stone to overcome on the path to getting better. One thing that is incredibly important to keeping a healthy mindset is to know when to walk away from the game. Be able to recognize when you're getting flustered, don't feel like playing, or just genuinely aren't having fun. There is nothing that makes you hate the game make more mistakes, or stunt improvement more than trying to force yourself to play the game while you just aren't feeling it. I had experienced a situation at one point where I was playing with someone, and as we played, they grew increasingly more frustrated. They were complaining about the game's defensive options, the character's overwhelming strengths, and the ledge mechanics, and it got to the point where I myself had to step away. As soon as they got done playing me, they hopped on For Glory. As they played For Glory, they picked the game apart even more and noticed even more things they hated about Smash 4 and grew increasingly more tilted to the point where it hurt their overall enjoyment after that day. The biggest point to take away from this tip is that if you take a game seriously and you want to get better, know that it becomes much easier to get frustrated. So just keep that in mind and be able to recognize when you're getting flustered and just walk away. Lastly, and this is extremely relevant to new players, don't expect instant gratification. You aren't going to be the best overnight. You probably aren't going to win your local without practicing. It's extremely discouraging to be bad at the game, but know that it will get better. And more importantly, don't expect it to happen instantly. New players will always say, it's too hard or I just can't win, but that shouldn't be something that turns you away. It's all too common to see the endless cycle of, I can't win so I won't practice, but I won't practice unless I'm winning. If you put in the time and have the right mindset, you'll undoubtedly see improvement. Before you can hold your own against good players, you have to be good at all aspects of the game, and doing that takes time. If you find yourself having trouble punishing rolls, don't expect to be punishing rolls after only a small amount of time learning to deal with them. If your opponent keeps making it back to stage and you keep dropping edge guards, a single week of practice will not yield the results I'm sure you're expecting. It's all about having that constantly evolving mindset. Take the little victories when you get them. Take note of your shortcomings and always work to improve these things. Take breaks when you start to feel tilted. Treat all losses as a learning opportunity, and above all else, see that growth means just as much in your head as it does in the game. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, please leave a like and please consider sharing this video. It really helps me out, as well as please leave a comment about what you think about the video, as well as give your tips on improving your mental game. Anything you guys can add to the topic as well, that'd be really fun to talk about and share. So with that being said, my name is Andrew Pants. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.